G'day guys, and today we're going to do a video, another lot of Cisco questions, and today's going to be all about troubleshooting connectivity issues. We'll get stuck into it. 433, you are connecting a switch to a router. What type of cable should you use? We've got straight through console serial crossover. There's a few cables there, switch to a router. So if you're ever using devices that are different from each other, it is always, well in most cases, it'll be a straight through cable. I think there might be another example, but I won't give it away just yet. Yeah, I'll leave it till then. 434, you have your workstation connected to port 6 on the switch, but are unable to communicate on the network. What should you try first? IP config, pick another system, check the routing table, verify your cable is connected properly. So the first thing with almost any troubleshooting here would be the physical layer, which leads to D. Verify your cable is connected properly. Always good to double check that, and that's all the first bit of troubleshooting that you would do, which is basically answering the question there is what should you do first. Alrighty, 435, you're connecting two switches together. What type of cable should you use? We've got straight through console serial crossover. If the devices are different, straight through. If they're different, if they're the same, you use crossover. So the answer there is D. 436, you receive the following output when looking at the show interfaces command. What should you check? So we got serial link is down, line protocol is down. So we got check the physical aspects of links such as cable, check that the IP address is set, check that the data link protocol is configured, verify that a route is defined to the remote network. Alright, so again, we always look, when troubleshooting, we try and look at the physical layer first, or whatever is the most easiest and quickest way. That's A. Check the physical aspects of the link such as the cable. Otherwise you spend hours trying to figure out something and realise it's simply slightly unplugged. 437, you are the network administrator for a small network running 3 VLANs on a switch. You have connected a workstation to port 8 on the switch and assigned its valid IP address for that network. You try to communicate with another system on the network but are unable to. What could be the problem? So we've got assigned, you have the wrong IP assigned, CDP is running on the switch, STP is blocking communication between the VLANs, or you are connected to a port in a different VLAN than the other system. That's normally the case. So the answer is D. You are connected to a port on a different VLAN to the other system, which is why it would be having dramas communicating with that one, because the IP is valid. 438, looking at the figure below, computer A is initiating communications to computer B and sends out an ARP request. Which device responds with the ARP reply message? So we've got switch 1, router 2, computer B. Okie dokie. So yeah, with the ARP coming back to computer A, the answer will be B, router 1, because it'll go through router 1 all the way to router 2, then the computer B. Computer B will send the message back, and then the last link in the chain is router number 1 to computer A. 439, you are the network administrator for a company that has users located in different offices. Network configuration is shown in the figure below. You have connected the switches to the routers with a crossover cable, and the computers to the switches with straight through cables. Computer A cannot ping computer B. What should you do? Change the IP address to computer A, use crossover cables to connect computers to switches, change the default gateway of computer A, use straight through cables to connect switches to routers. So if we simply read this question here, it's saying switches and routers are being connected with a crossover cable. What don't you do? You do not put a crossover cable on a different type of device. So that's the first thing, and we know that's wrong, so that's going to be the answer. So that leaves us with D being the answer. Use straight through cables to connect switches to routers because they are different. 440, having a green link indicates that which of the following conditions have been met. Select 2. So we've got layer 3 protocol has been assigned at either end of the link. Network media is attached at both ends of the link. IP address on the interface has been configured. Layer 2 protocol has been loaded and configured at either end of the link. Kind of a rote learning question, kind of just a knowledge, straightforward one. I'll give you the answers right now. It is B and D. The network media is attached at both ends of the link. And we've got a layer 2 protocol has been loaded and configured at either end of the link. So normally when you have that, you're sort of connecting to a switch or something like that. The switch is on the layer 2 side of things. And if you're ever on like sort of a switch and you don't have like green light, it generally means that whatever on one end it may be connected, but it may not be connected on the other end. So say if you have a look in your server room and you see connectivity or lack of connectivity, it may mean the computer's simply off, or there's an issue in between the patch panel and the port, or the cables, or anything. So there you go. 441, you are the network administrator for a company that has users located in different offices. The network configuration is shown in the figure below. You have connected the switches to the routers with straight through cable. Good. And the computers to switches with straight through cables. Awesome. Computer A cannot ping computer B. What should you do? So we've got change the cable type connecting the switches to the routers, change the cable type connecting the computers to the switches, change the IP address on computer A, change the IP address of computer B, change the IP address on router 1. So we know that they're connected alright, so we can immediately wipe out A and B. And now it's a matter of looking at the network connectivity there and just sussing out the addresses, the gateways, and all sorts of things. So we have a situation here. So we've got a 27 subnet, which means there's 32 possible addresses, well, and 30 that are usable. So we've got to take that into consideration there. So that would mean that there would be an issue with computer A's IP address, because computer A's IP address is .64. So on a 27 subnet, we've got 32 theoretical addresses, which just goes 32 then 64, but this is a broadcast address, so that's actually not going to work. It's not a valid IP address. From 30, I think 32 to 63 or 31 to 63 would work. But 65 there onwards would be valid, therefore the IP address on A needs to be changed. 442, use the following commands to create an access control list on the fast Ethernet port of the router. Users are now reporting that they cannot communicate with the intranet sites. What is the problem? So we've got the first line should not be permit, the second line should not be permit. There is an implied deny all traffic at the end of the ACL. The IP access group command should not be used. So have a look through here. So it's defining an access control for Telnet and also SMTP, and then interface fast Ethernet, and then assigning it to that interface. In this instance, the answer is C. There is an implied deny all traffic at the end of each ACL. So unless you explicitly allow it within the rule, it will be like default implied denied. So therefore, that is what is causing the issue. 443, you have a switch using multiple VLANs that is connected to a router using a straight through cable. You have configured the router as a router on the stick, and you have configured the sub interfaces on the router, but communication is not occurring between the VLANs. How do you fix the problem? Use a crossover cable to connect the switch to the router on the stick. Enable trunking on the port connecting to the switch to the router. Add static routes so the router can route between all VLANs. Load RIP version 2 so that routing between VLANs can occur. In the instance where we're dealing with sub interfaces, we have to look into trunking. So in order for that to work, trunking will need to be enabled on the port connected to the switch to the router. 444, it's got another one of this diagram. You're the network administrator for the company that has users located in different offices. Network configuration is shown in the figure below. You have connected the switches to the routers with straight through cables, and the computers to the switches with straight through cables. Awesome. Computer A cannot ping computer B. Why not? So we got computer B's default gateway is invalid. Computer A's default gateway is invalid. Crossover cables used to connect the switches to the routers. Computer B's IP address is incorrect. So if we read the statement again, there's no mention of crossover cables. That's automatically incorrect. So leave us with A, B, and D, and then we just need to take a bit of a look at the diagram and then just take into account what our subnets are and gateways and all sorts of things. So we're still on the 27 subnet, so that means that it will go, every 32 hosts will go to the next lot. So we've got computer B's default gateway or computer A's default gateway is invalid. So looking at this one here, 1131. I feel like 31 is a broadcast address, so therefore, yeah, there's router 2. Therefore, computer B's default gateway is invalid. So up until 30, I believe will be fine. I know with the 32, there's two broadcast addresses or 2 unusable addresses out of the 32. 31 is not valid there, so that is the answer. All the rest were seemingly fine or incorrect regardless. Thanks for watching, guys. Got the website there, but more importantly, subscribe away if you're keen to see more content. I'll keep the content coming along, and really appreciate your support and watching my videos. So thanks again for watching, guys. Have a great day. See you next time.